Hey beautiful souls, Cora Flora here, and today I feel inspired to make a video for you from my favorite forest underneath my favorite tree. Well, one of them is really hard to pick, but this one is actually called Survivor Tree, and I'll show you some video of it soon. But yeah, it's a beautiful tree that I just feel such a spiritual connection with, and so it's really nice to sit with it and feel supported by it as I flow some inspiration for you. So first I just wanted to share what I've been up to. So I have been very deep working on creative projects, deep in the creative vortex, I can say. And part of those projects are music videos. So if you're on my YouTube channel, you can see my shadow, you can see Blooming Darkness, and I have a new one that I'm releasing today called Into and Through. So I'm doing basically my whole album Euphoria in chronological order, just because I felt like the album's a healing journey. So for me, making videos is part of my healing process of embodiment, of deeper integration of the medicine of each song. And it's interesting because my intention in making these videos was I wanted it to be a deep, meaningful shamanic healing experience. And so I challenged myself to make videos that were really about what the songs were sharing and actually deepened and expanded on the messages. Like, so for example, my shadow, for that video, I mean, first of all, I was just working through my own body shame and shame of my sexuality. And for me, I recognize that a shadow for me has been shame of like my ravenous sexual desire, which apparently is a common thing for women. Like, according to Layla Martin, who's one of my most inspirational teachers, she says that very often women are ashamed of that. And I realized for me that has been an edge. So in that video, my intention was to share just like me dancing in a sexual way, me being powerful, me showing my body in a way that I haven't before because I've been too scared. And so, yeah, and admittedly as well, I had just gone through a breakup, and at that time I was drinking a lot of wine to cope, and so it was also wine to like help myself open up and like go like crack beyond my boundaries into something new. So anyways, so that was another shadow of just like, yeah, I'll be totally honest about that. And I've definitely since then come back into a really good balance with it, but there was a time where I was like just overly drinking to cope, and yeah, is what it is. But I do love the video, even though like there are times when I've looked back on it and been like, oh God, what did I do? But the same thing happens with music. Like I've definitely made music that I've like listened to again and been like, oh, like cringe. But in the creative process and even life, I've heard a saying that it's awkward before it's elegant. And I do feel like that with music. And I'm humbled that in the process of music videos, I feel that there's a similar growth curve. And so yeah, and then the next video was Blooming Darkness, and that one I did, the power was out, and I remember I had my computer, the photo booth on my computer, and I had a candle lit because the power was out, and I was like, hey, why don't I just like do this video with that and see what kind of music video I could make with a photo booth. And it was really fun. I actually loved how mystical it looked. Like I loved how with less precision of the camera quality, it actually opened up this sort of like mysterious, like flowing energy effect that to me felt very shamanic and felt very mysterious and magical, which is what the essence of Blooming Darkness is about. Like the song is kind of aiming to capture the magic in the mystery of, for example, psychedelic experiences or dreams, or you know, like the mystical dark, like that dark matter, and how the mystery is where there's some beautiful potential if we're courageous enough to open into it and open up to it. And but yeah, the quality wasn't that good, but I just have to trust the process and let it be good enough, because that's another thing is I'm just learning to just love myself completely. That's been my promise and work lately, is just deepening into fully loving myself no matter what, infinity and beyond, so that I can then be in a good space to actually offer that to someone else, and or all life potentially. But definitely partnership has been in my thoughts and inspiration lately, and a big part of what my heart yearns for, so it makes sense to be doing a lot of healing work around that at this time. And so, yeah, speaking of healing work, so the next music video, which is releasing today, is called Into and Through. And this one took me over a month to make because one of my phones broke that had all this footage, and this stuff happened where I got massively triggered, and just like I just kind of gave up for a while, and then different things flowed, and then I suddenly had a huge wave of inspiration to work on online courses. So I have 2 new online courses as well: spiritual songwriting, which is all about writing an album of healing, inspirational, deep, meaningful, transformative songs, which I would love to share with you because I poured a lot of love into that, and I feel like people who want to receive like super potent support and love and like encouragement and inspiring stories and all the jewels of wisdom I found on my journey, I'll leave a link below. And also I have one called Magical Money Making, which is really surprising. Like I was really surprised when the inspiration dropped in for that. I was like, really? Me? Like, I have experienced bankruptcy. I have, had a lot of waves of like finances flow in my life. But I realized that like money is not separate from God, and money is not separate from spirit, and money is not separate from magic, and money is an energy that we can work with and heal our relationship with. And so the process of creating that course was me just totally going within and just like healing, like intuitively receiving exercises, keys, codes, inspiration, and even like supportive documents for how to do bookkeeping in a really spiritual, loving, heart-centered way, and stuff like that I just feel like I didn't have. Like for me, I feel like I'm a really magical, spiritual, intuitive person, and I needed a system that felt good and felt right and felt like it was still honoring that God and money. And so the journey of writing that was actually just like so fun, and that's how I want like money making to be for me, for you, for all of us awesome people, is just like to connect with it in a really fun way, and it kind of parallels with sex, where like, I feel like the old paradigm of like, money, like it reminds me of like a wife being like, oh, I gotta have sex with my husband, like this kind of like shitty, like, whereas like I would way rather the energy of like, oh my God, I'm so excited, I get to connect with like, my favorite person ever, and like who knows what's gonna happen, and it's like so exciting. And like that's kind of the energy that I'm intending to bring to my world of money, is like just like new paradigms, new light, new love, new medicine, new magic, where it just feels like this whole new wide open frontier of open possibilities for heaven on earth. And yeah. And so Into and Through, the music video, is, yeah, it definitely took a long time to make. But then what I noticed is when I was working on the courses, I was really committed to daily practices, because I realized for me, like having a daily habit, a routine, if you will, of things that really help me thrive is really important. And committing to that as part of my like, dance with the universe, it was so important. And one part of it was doing a daily walk every single day, at least an hour, in the forest. And it has been in this gorgeous forest, which I've showed you already, but it's just like ridiculous. Like it's like, oh, like I love it so much. It's like the most magical place, and it's walkable from my house, which makes me so happy. Oops. Hello, eyes up here. But yeah. So anyway, so on these walks, I just would bring my phone and just do voice memos and just hold space for myself. And often I would do not only like emotional processing, but I'd also obviously click into gratitude, because it's so magical, it's so helpful. And then I would find also, because I'm a natural intuitive channel, I would also open up inspiration, ideas would come through, guidance would come through, and I would pray for guidance. And I also, because I feel like that's an essential piece of the guidance flowing in. But yeah, I would also do these like love letters and like these connections with God, spirit, the universe. And it felt so good. And I started to play a bit more with like certain manifestation techniques, like giving thanks in advance, like feeling it deeper in my body, like healing my beliefs, like scripting, even like kind of painting a picture to visualize and step into the reality, shifting into the energetic state, the vibration of what I desire to experience, because all of this is the universe. And so when I can harness my own music, it then resonates through creation. And so when I created the Into and Through video, I just wanted to capture just some of the magic of the healing of the walks, because yeah, there were moments of deep healing, of deep alchemy and releasing some deep shit, and also some moments of like really beautiful magic on the other side. And yeah, I'm just happy to share it. And speaking of music, I also have new songs. I did not expect it, but they just flowed through. Like one night I was actually really sad and I was missing the person I was dating before, and I decided to just like love my heart. And I was feeling the pain. I just fell asleep just being like, you know what? I feel you. I feel your pain. I'm going to just love you. I'm just going to love you. And I just like gave myself all the love right into my heart. And then I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and then suddenly I was like, I feel like I want to make music. And then I just started to like play with my computer and play with different ideas. And then it just poured out. It was just like one after the other of song ideas that had been kind of percolating, but then they suddenly just were like, and so yeah. So in the process of writing and everything, I've been just keeping the album in my peripheral just to be like, okay, I'm going to work on this. But then ideas would come, and there's something special about that peripheral focus. And I find it helps creativity to flow. Like one of my best ways to find musical ideas, especially harmonies or melody ideas, is doing dishes. I don't know why, but like do dishes and put on music and just like let me just like focus on the dishes and like not think about, making anything, and magic flows. So it's amazing just like tuning into that. And I just thought it was 11:11. So anyways, I don't want to make this video too long, and I'm using a gimbal right now, which is why it's very flowy. But yeah, I'm sitting here. It's freaking gorgeous. Life is beautiful. And I am so excited to be on this journey, sitting by my favorite tree. So wishing you a beautiful now. And yeah, I'll leave links for all these offerings so you can check them out if you feel so inspired. I'm putting this out there because I love it, and I feel like it's my creative joy to create these things, and they're healing for me. So I feel like they're healing for other people. And yeah, and if you're interested in the courses, let me know, because I actually am feeling inspired to offer an introductory discount for anyone of 30% off for anyone who's interested in going through the journey, committing to it, and then writing a testimonial. An honest one, of course. If you don't like it, I'd probably give you a refund, or I would give you a refund. But if you do like it, then I would love to receive a testimonial. And yeah, I just want to see these courses do good things. Like I just feel like different about them than any other courses I made. Like I feel like in the past, when I was traveling a lot and I wasn't really grounded, I made a few online courses and guided online things that I was doing on the fly. And so I didn't have the time and space and grounding and support to like fully commit and just make the best possible thing I can make, which is the process that I use for albums. Like usually with albums, I don't care how long it takes, I don't care how much it costs, I'm going to make the best possible thing ever because this is my life purpose. And for me, it felt really good to actually give that same level of devotion to the online courses. And so I just focused on making them the best possible creations I could make that help me the most, and I feel can definitely help and inspire other people. And there's something that I feel like I may add more to in time. Like the sun is shining through. What's going on, gimbal? I may add more videos, more like inspirational content as it flows. So yeah. Oh, hey, beautiful sunshine. All right, well, thank you for being in my community. Lots of love to all y'all. I hope you're well and finding the rainbows after the storms, because they're so here for us. And yeah, thank you so much. Aloha.